and then get it going here in Mini.
Twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars.
Time to step into game 7. I got one question. Are you ready?
He's a Washington Husky, 6'9".
Thompson has done with this team and what their front office has done in speed.
Tibbetts, Justin Van Dyne, our officiating crew. We're underway here at Target Center.
And you see a little bit of a change here. Rudy Gobert opening on Steph Castle. Randall playing Wembanyama right off the bat here.
39% on Tuesday night in that loss in San Antonio. Edwards will see if he has a pep in his step here, and he turns it over on the first Timberwolves possession of the night.
Well, he handled and did not see a double team the first time he handled. So some changes on both sides as Fox knocks down.
Fox averaging 25.3 points per game on the road in the playoffs in his career. Randall has been searching for his offense. McDaniels, the pull-up pop, doesn't go. And Castle.
They really cannot afford.
Lob and jam, Wembanyama.
Over the 2 years with Castle and Wembanyama has been incredible.
Randall trying to muscle his way around Castle. Randall takes it in, and a strong.
And that's something that Chris Finch wanted. He wanted them to go at the rim. He doesn't want a lot of the floaters.
Castle nailed to advantage for the Spurs.
Well, those are going to be wide open if they're going to play him with Gobert.
DeSumo denied.
Goaltends, and they get the call right there.
Fox on the outside. Gets around DeSumo and lays it in. Wow. You know, number 3 in offensive rating in the postseason, number 1 in defensive rating.
You see again, no double team to start on Edwards.
And Edwards is fouled by
call on Castle. Those are the shots right there, though, that Chris Finch does not want. The runners and the floaters.
Oh, Castle in the
Castle to the rim.
The Spurs open up 5 of 7 from the field. This is another slow start for Minnesota. It has plagued them in this series.
Well, you see Wemby not in a drop when
Randall on a fade. Too strong.
Particularly Castle and Harper beat you with speed on the offensive end, beat you with physicality on the defensive end.
Easy lay-in for Edwards off the inbounds. Fox protecting, kick. The jumper is good. It
starts with, again, the guards for San Antonio just living in the paint.
McDaniels gives it up. DeSumo takes the baseline but misses on the runner.
Chris Finch thinks have been bad for his team. Either wants to get to the rim or spray it out.
The step in and steal. Edwards will put it down. He was himself again, loud, boisterous. Castle from three-point territory.
That's his second one. They've decided to play him with Gobert. Those shots are going to be there. He's now shooting over 40% in the playoffs from 3.
DeSumo tries the zigzag, and they're in the postseason, checks in.
He's had 2 double-doubles in the playoffs, coming off a game 5 with 17 and 10.
Edwards, he banks it in, and the foul. It was actually a surprise when he played in game 1.
A Denver series. He still played nearly 40 minutes in each of the last 3 games. Julius Randle said they've started calling him Wolverine because every time it looks like Ant might actually be hurt, he somehow gets right back up, guys.
And Gobert knocks it away from Wembanyama. Edwards drives, floats, short. Gobert.
In games it hasn't, and they've already shot 3 of those floaters that he doesn't want to see, and now here they are going small.
Terrence Shannon in, so is Naz Reid. Shannon rims out on a mark in this game after suffering a head contusion. Harper, the handles. Oh, nice little head.
In the paint. I think the key defensively for Minnesota Everybody focuses on Wemby. No, it's about keeping those guards out of the paint.
Keldon Johnson in the game, the 6th man of the year. Randall can't hit the floater, follows of 10 from the field. Timberwolves are 5 of 12.
Well, and it's all threes and paint.
21 games in the series opener, but it's been a struggle since. That was a Minnesota victory in Antonio in game 1. Castle, they're not there, and Castle, big numbers in the first 6 minutes of the opening quarter, 11 points.
Wow, and we've really seen it come out at playoff time, and they have just been unable to keep the guards out of the paint this entire series, and certainly here again in the first quarter tonight.
Spurs up by 11. Edwards, ball movement. Reed's going to have to do it himself. Fires and hits.
How are these going to keep these guards out of the paint?
Harper swing, Castle sets it up. Wembanyama on a kick. Vassell can't hit the three. Reed couldn't.
But he created that three, and Naz Reid finished the play.
Julian Champagnie is in. Champagnie got a piece of it, takes it away from Edwards. Spurs are running. Johnson on a spin. Johnson in the paint, upstairs for Wembanyama, who...
But Edwards has got to cut the turnovers. Already his 2nd one tonight. I don't feel like either one of them were forced.
Hard cut. Naz Reid scoops it home.
But a perimeter guarding Dosunmu, and that opened up the three.
Nice step in there by Shannon, creating a turnover. Dosunmu, attack mode, deflected by Wembanyama. He's a human wall. Reed, ball fake. Reed, three. Put it on the board. That
would be helpful.
That was not part of the resume. It was just for you to get some really deep thoughts into your life. Cornette is in for San Antonio, so Wembanyama will get a breather here. High-level shot making so far. By 5, Keldon Johnson. Give it up. Castle's at the hot hand and connects for 3.
Oh my, threes, that's out the window now.
Mike Conley in the game for Minnesota needs some help. Edwards against Harper. Fend off, lined it up. Hits the heel.
You'll see it for the rest of the night, other than maybe the very start of the 3rd quarter.
Spurs have led by as many as 11, currently up by 8. Terrence Shannon Jr., 2nd year in the NBA. Edwards, contact, couldn't finish. Johnson trying to force the action on the spin. Missed it on the interior, and it's out of bounds. San Antonio will...
More than the Spurs picking up Luke Cornette.
Time right now for tonight's live. Cornette, 82% shooter this season.
Great roster construction, and then the combination of great coaching by Mitch Johnson and his staff.
Brian, consistency in how San Antonio has done this. We know that they were approaching how to build their franchise.
No, it didn't. But I'll tell you what, the pressure that goes with being the GM, Brian Wright with that gray beard now, he's very young.
30-22, San Antonio. Reed, they shade with a 2nd defender. Shannon, it's intercepted by Champagnie.
I didn't like that pass. I mean, I understand he wanted to get it to Gobert on the mismatch, but...
The fade goes down for Fox.
Guards from penetrating. I think they have to force the ball middle more and come early with the help. Forget being coming off shooters.
Necessary, Timberwolves and Spurs. That would be at 8 p.m. Go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app for the latest info. Conley, the jumper is pure.
Well, he's the three. 48% coming in after shooting only 34% during the regular season.
Johnson forcing the action, couldn't finish. Cornette is there.
Limited minutes, both in the regular season and the playoffs. Cornette's been their best offensive rebounder, ahead of Wembanyama and everyone else on the team.
The Euro by Reed, Cornette a factor.
Spurs.
Cornette, an NBA champion himself. Wembanyama checks back in for the final minute and change.
Now, only 3 guys had previous playoff experience for the Spurs. 2 of them off the bench, Cornette, and 16 points in the paint for San Antonio, and 5 made threes. and forcing these mid-range jumpers when Wemby comes in the game. That has been not good at all for Minnesota.
Wembanyama taps it over. Lead feed for Conley. Waiting for his teammates. There's a 7-second difference. Winding down here in the first. Reed, the back end against the grain with the left hand. Fox with 5 seconds. Whip it to the other side. Champagnie misses on a 3-ball. Knocked around, out of bounds. And Minnesota will have it with Dosunmu, scoop, toss in the air, and it's off the top. 36-27 lead over Minnesota, the starting guards. 23-9 in favor of the Spurs.
And you see Gobert out of the game again as Wemby's in. Going.
Couldn't hit from the side.
Udonis Haslem brought up an incredible stat on Minnesota before the game. 41% of their points in the Denver series on dunks and layups. Only 23% of their points in this series.
Oh, Harper. Totally high basketball IQ. San Antonio, 9 of 11 in the paint. Fend off there by
paint. Steve Nash talked about that. They've got to shrink the floor and get back in the paint against this team.
Reed has a screen from Randall. Now he's got Castle defending him. Reed works in. Kick out. Randall can't hit the 3.
Baskets, already 20 points in the paint for San Antonio.
Victor Wembanyama. Edwards. Champagnie extends out defensively. Edwards puts it up. Short. And rebounded by the rookie Bryant.
Those shots are the ones Chris Finch talked about. Those in-between shots, mid-range jumpers, runners, floaters have not worked.
Ridiculous angle.
Three-point shooter here in the playoffs.
Minnesota has made just 2 of its last 12 field goal attempts. Shot clock is winding down. Reed has to hoist, and it's way off.
Not afford to have him on the bench with foul trouble.
Castle. Drive underneath, kick it for Bryant. Bryant missed it. Offensive rebound. Castle muscles it in, and the foul. It's not that they're scary right now. It's that they could be.
Them in Oklahoma City both. I mean, it's just unbelievable what's going to happen.
10-0 to start the second. Champagnie kept it in bounds, or did he?
Edwards back in quickly, which I think is an absolute necessity.
No Dante DiVincenzo, ruptured Achilles against Denver in the first round. Edwards bounce it. Dosunmu lines it up. It's off.
Well, got the ball to Dosunmu, wide open 3, just couldn't knock it down.
Castle penetrates, bounces back door. Wembanyama.
Randall's body position, though. He's forcing Wembanyama to the rim. I don't like that at all. Let him come off the screen.
Missed by Randall, leads to a break. Bryant had it blocked by Dosunmu.
7 fast break points here to none for Minnesota. And look,
I don't think you qualify.
Why do I not qualify?
Okay, you can apply. Offensive rebound. Harper drive and kick. Wembanyama extra. Vassell got a 3.
But in the paint, kick it out, extra pass. If they don't shrink the floor and keep these guards out of the paint, they have absolutely no chance to win this game.
It's now 14-0 in the second. Edwards can't hide. Up ahead, lob it. Bryant can fly. Hammer jam. AI mode in Google search, and the rebounding numbers stand 20-7 in favor of the Spurs.
Yeah, incredible. But look, you know why everybody, our viewers, really like the Google? We want more eye candy.
We've gotten 0 messages about that. Minnesota is 0 of 10 in the second quarter, and there's a foul. 17. Oklahoma City is waiting for the winner here.
And I mean, look at the lineup they have on the floor right now.
Appearance for the Spurs since 2019, so it had been a long stretch building this thing back up. They went long-term. Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell, they believed in those guys. and then just kept adding pieces along the way. Foul is called out front.
Well, no, and the 56 is a little deceptive because 49 of those 56 games of playoff experience from the starters have come miss their block.
Wembanyama running the floor. Vassell can't hit the three. Wemby, no look to Harper. Harper underneath, goes to work on the inside.
It's incredible.
This is a clinic. Shannon, drive, and he scores, plus the...
And I think you would agree with me.
I would.
We've seen shots.
56-30. Keep in mind, Game 5 was tied at 61 with 7.5 to go. It was a TKO. The miss by Shannon. Harper, lob it up, and the knock away by Minnesota. Shannon accelerates, and he finishes. Fox, Castle, Vassell, Bryant, and Cornette, the five on the floor for the Spurs.
Well, and this is where they like Gobert on the floor against Cornette because he doesn't have to worry about the three and he can just protect the rim, which he's great at.
Castle comes up. Reed, Gobert, Edwards, Conley, and Shannon for the Timberwolves. Reed takes it at the chest of Cornette and draws the foul.
And look, Chris Finch talked about it before the game. The two games that overextended their defense out on the floor, now creating foul problems.
That's why Fox is at the free throw line. And he's got 11 points. Then Castle with 17. 58-35, Spurs. Shannon forcing the action, and he floats it in.
I think he's established himself in this postseason run that he's at least a legitimate rotation player in this league.
Fox the flip.
But again, they've got to get help earlier on the perimeter and make him kick the ball out.
Taking it.
Touches the restricted area. If they have a chance at coming back, they've got to change that.
Shannon had it.
For San Antonio, and they've made 6 threes. You got to take something away.
Edwards splits defenders, but comes up short. Fox probing, kicks it out for Vassell. 8 to shoot, 4.5 to go, second quarter. Vassell on a spin, rims out. What was once a 29-point cushion is currently 18. Shannon handling it. Now a switch out front. He's got Vassell. Shannon makes his move. Hard drive, blocked by Vassell. For San Antonio, 0 for Minnesota. They were number 2 in the NBA this season in blocks, 5.8 per game. Bullseye, a three.
I mean, if this guy's going to make threes, he and Castle, and the ability to get to the rim, you got a lot of years of not being able to guard this team.
It's an Anthony Edwards. Right now, San Antonio is 7 of 14 from three-point range. Wembanyama will shoot 2. 83% on the season. Smooth. Victor Wembanyama. Edwards handling it, double team.
Edwards.
McDaniels on a kick for Conley. Curls, outside, Reed, shooting practice. It's a three.
They can convert them, and they haven't done it consistently in the series.
16 for Naz Reid. Castle, aggressive, hangs and hits.
The much smaller Mike Conley.
19 for Stephon Castle. Edwards using the Conley screen, turns the corner, and soaring to the rim for... And Wembanyama is living at the free throw line. Now 5 of 6. Randall back in for Minnesota.
In the season, 48% from the field and 32% from three.
And he missed them both.
Excellent free throw in a row to go right at Wembanyama, and he's converted all 3 times.
67-51. Knock away and a turnover. McDaniels leading the break. Right down the middle. Kick out. Edwards got a three. The Ant-Man.
Looks like to me Minnesota's going to go 2-3 zone right here. They are coming out of the timeout.
High screen, Wembanyama. Fox drives, floats, missed it. Set here. Edwards fires. Can't hit the three. Back tap by Randall. Timberwolves get a reload. Swing. McDaniels. Off the mark. Rebound. Vassell's got it.
They had two good looks at threes there.
Champagny, no. Tried to cross. Edwards recovers. Can't hit it from the baseline. And up.
So what are they going to do? They're just going to bring Dylan Harper into the game as Fox will go get some treatment in the
Get center, 1:15 to go. And Champagny is on the board, making a pair of free throws. Edwards handles the pressure from Vassell. Corner, McDaniels missed it. And a loose ball foul. Tonight they are 6 of 17. Shannon makes the first.
out of the double team, they're going to get threes, or when they play small, Wembanyama's man is going to be wide at the rim. They've got to stay away from the mid-range and the runners. And they're back in zone again here. Got to find a way to keep them out of the paint.
Castle, Euros, kicks Vassell. Working around, Wembanyama attacking.
Minnesota's doing everything now that Chris Finch wants and needs to do, and now they're back to double teaming Edwards, soft double.
Randall, hard drive, met by Wembanyama, return to sender. Oh, the skimmer, but
shoulder right into Wembanyama's body. He can challenge him. Randall goes to the rim.
2.1. Edwards scoops it up. He's picked up by Harper. Edwards, step back three, book it.
Well, they've got Edwards.
Shot clock, the game clock.
Trying to really match up out of it.
Big first half for Castle, 19 points. Castle drives on Conley, swing, extra, Champagny fires, and hits a three.
Alden, it's certainly close enough you could lose the challenge. Why are you going to do that at this point?
So the second one in and out, grabbed by Reed, banks it in with .1 on the clock. So the Timberwolves do get 3 points.
Especially on the road, so we expect them to come out with energy, but I like the way we've been playing, so we're going to try to keep it up.
Thanks for your time. Good luck in the second half. Ian, back to you.
All right, Cassidy, Anthony Edwards, the miss from long range. The Aaron Fox is out there. It was a right ankle issue. Victor Wembanyama.
Because he can't make the three, but because they didn't do anything to attack Minnesota's defense first.
Hard drive, McDaniels, no. Gobert, 1983. They put up 82 against Denver. That was a different era with different scoring numbers.
I wasn't even alive in 1983.
Let me do the math. Vassell, swing. The jumper goes, it's silky.
For San Antonio are outstanding.
McDaniels gets around Wembanyama. Ball is hopping. Randall to the corner. McDaniels, baseline, left hand, it goes. That was creative.
First bucket of the night.
He is 1 of 7 from the field. Castle flips it up, draws the foul.
I mean, you just see it in teams, the way they attack when Wembanyama's in the
Rebounds, 2 blocks. 79-63. Shannon getting the nod here.
Shannon was good in the first half. This guy can attack the basket as he does there.
Gobert, denied by short. Rebounded by Randall. Trying to push the pace. Edwards trailing. They'll find him. Edwards, push shot. No. Gathered by Wembanyama.
And why that tough push shot? Because Victor Wembanyama lurks at the rim.
And Wembanyama attempted 17 more shots than San Antonio, yet the Spurs have made 3 more. Kick it out. Shannon in and out on a 3.
Yeah, look, they're trying to come back. You get a wide open three, you're going to have to make it.
Castle the spin, and he draws the foul. Stephon Castle, 21 points, 73% shooter. Covington, Georgia native. National championship at UConn. Was the Big East Freshman of the Year, then the NBA Rookie of the Year. A lot of accolades.
A great player, and his shooting's improved, which was the only weakness really that he had coming into the league.
Dosunmu had to loop it up high.
You just got a bucket at the rim, and then you come right back and just give it to him in transition.
Reed, hard drive. Kick it out, Dosunmu. Fling it for Randall. 10 to shoot. Extra. Shannon fakes out Wemby and slams it.
And please start protecting the paint if you're the Timberwolves.
84-67. San Antonio, 8.5 to go in the third quarter of Game 6. Spurs lead 3-2. Fox, the off-balance delivery. Gobert on the bench for the Timberwolves. Reed, fend off on Castle. Drive it, kick it, extra. Randall, he's been searching, and it's short.
Great tonight, 0 for 2 from 3. Under 20% on threes in this series.
Vassell, no. And the rebound to Shannon. 19-point game. Reed. One and done.
It's the San Antonio defense that, for all intents and purposes, takes the pain away.
Quick move, Wembanyama, no. Harper just checked into the game with the rebound. Clear it, Harper with 8 to shoot. Loop it, catch made. And it's for Victor Wembanyama. Upcoming national TV schedule, the latest info. 16 points. And tack on another. 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Carter Bryant back in for the Spurs. McDaniels will line it up and knock it down for 3.
Edwards is going to see double teams.
Vassell.
Pass against the zone. You got to be able to cover the first pass.
Shannon anticipating the contact. He lays it in.
Well, and Shannon had worked his way into the rotation this year. Then he had the injury. Then hadn't gotten back into the rotation until David. Fourth made 3 tonight. 4 for 4 from 3. If he's going to make threes, indefensible.
McDaniels for 2 and 1. Ejected. They have 11 three-pointers tonight, and we still have 6:17 to go in the third. Castle defended by Reed. Castle, he bounced it off of Reed's foot. Minnesota is running. Edwards, hard drive, couldn't finish it. Cornette there.
I understand the frustration, but now he's got to get back in the play and play. Udonis Haslem talked about it before the game. San Antonio's the team with less experience. They've been the more poised.
28 points. And that ball, Castle, kick. Castle. He's human. And it's going to go.
No, actually, he told me, interesting enough, that he actually likes coming off the bench. He says he's embraced being that energy guy, making his impact the moment he steps on the floor. And one of those reasons is that he's spending a lot of time with a guy, Mobley. And he just said that Manu is someone who tells you what you need to hear and shares perspective from his own experience. And clearly Manu's also watching closely as he loved his coast-to-coast dunk in Game 5, guys.
Cornette with a follow. Oh, did you?
Yes, absolutely hated it.
You don't mean personally.
I don't even know him personally. It's just, he made life very tough on me when I was trying to coach against him.
Cornette starting to pull away again. 99-76. McDaniels missed on the jam. Harper, give it up for Fox. Contact. Fox left alone. And Fox hits. And the lead has ballooned. 26. McDaniels. Short one. No, nothing going down right now for the Timberwolves. Keeping the pressure on. Cornette hits the deck. What a finish. Talked about the blocks. Lower for Minnesota in the postseason. Higher for San Antonio.
Third quarter, and give San Antonio credit. Anthony Edwards started to heat it up. He was trying to take over the game, and they went right back to double teaming him. Miss. And you look at San Antonio now, trying to face guard Edwards all the way away from the basket. Double teaming here.
McDaniels hangs. Couldn't finish it. Cornette 41-20 in favor of the Spurs. Fox lefty against lefty with Conley. Fox the back end. The turn. Off the rim. Edwards head on a swivel. Makes his move on Harper. Gives it up. McDaniels 3. Bullseye. McDaniels has 11 in the third quarter. 13 overall. Harper. Drive and kick. Bryant. Swing Vassell. Put it behind his back. Conley got a piece. Shot clock winding down. Vassell rimming out. 4-point lead for the Spurs. Edwards jumper. It's off.
Great screen by Rudy Gobert.
Bryant. Pass to the outside. Vassell doesn't go. Reed will bring it across. Swing. McDaniels. Inside. Gobert. Doesn't get the roll.
Gobert has no. Explosive, strong.
Edwards jumper. It's good. It's a 3.
First bucket though. 3. And these guys are kicking our butts foul.
Dylan Harper shot it at 76% of the free throw line in his rookie season. Second overall pick in the draft from Rutgers.
What he has to do on this team. Sets great screens and rolls, protects the rim, rebounder, doesn't make very many mistakes.
Edwards floats it up. Off the mark, but a foul. By far the most for the Timberwolves tonight. Coming up on this, the WNBA on Prime, Thursday, 7:30 Eastern.
Daughter Allie and her husband who are season ticket holders.
Well, thank you for updating us on your schedule.
Yeah, I'll have more of my schedule later.
It's
but
clearly
that one was relevant.
what
I
America
thought.
wants.
Yes. Oh, no, they do. I constantly get asked about it by viewers. Should I give out my phone number?
Yeah, do it. Sure. Let's get that going. 38 seconds left here in the third. Edwards off balance. Wemben. 110-84 Spurs. They've outscored Minnesota 36-23 in the third. Castle, they'll line it up. Wembanyama couldn't grab it. Slapped out of there. Dosunmu trying to trip.
You defend regardless of the score.
Edwards, the hoist, and misses it. Doing what they did against Orlando in the first round.
Yeah, that is the fourth elimination game in these playoffs that the Pistons have won. 2 of them. Game 6 is on.
Harper with the spin and the touch. Dosunmu trying to take it.
They are going to be in the gaps. It's going to be much, much harder into the paint like they have in this series.
Personal foul on Champagnie. Second free throw for Dosunmu. 15 of 24, that's 75%. 8 of 10 from three-point territory. Then they roll Harper in there. He's 6 of 7 from the field with 15 points. The veteran, Harrison Barnes, and he's...
And like Cornette, one of 2 guys on this young, inexperienced San Antonio team who has played in a lot of playoffs. He's a high-character guy and can handle that change. But it is still a courageous move by Mitch Johnson. It's not as if finally making his first appearance here in the fourth quarter.
Dosunmu, it's goaltending.
Because that's the way San Antonio wants to play, to take advantage of their athleticism and their depth. And for Minnesota, they want to play fast to try to take Wembanyama's defensive ability out of the game. It's not just one way. This is not a one-man team.
Dosunmu, ball fake, missed the layup, so the other way. Champagny, give it up. Wembanyama, roll it down. 120-90, Spurs. Shannon gets inside for the deuce.
To get to the rim, he's got to become a more consistent shooter, but he can get to the rim.
Castle, short, grabs the rebound. Barnes can't hit the three.
Please, most everybody else in the league.
Shannon stops on a dime, cut by Dosunmu, and it was blocked. A rejection for Luke Cornett. Champagny, count it, a three.
And again, that one
blocks. So that's 11 blocks compared to 1 for the Timberwolves. Left-handed layup doesn't go for Edwards. San Antonio continues to apply pressure. Barnes, extra, Champagny, book it, a three.
tonight.
They are 17 of 35. That's 49% for the #2 seed in the Western Conference. 8:19 to go. Shannon, bottom.
Look, he's in it. Chris Finch and his staff have developed in him.
And Castle gets it. You don't want to see.
No, clearly that's just not part of my makeup.
Berenger is in across the board for both teams. Clark, Anderson, Phillips, and Highland, all for Minnesota. What? Also into the game is Jordan McLaughlin. Olynyk. Barnes remains in there along with Cornett. Kyle Anderson still have 7:18 to play here in the fourth quarter. Lopsided game 6 in favor of the San Antonio Spurs. Olynyk misses on a 3-ball. Jalen Clark. Anderson over to Bones Highland. He's never shy and he misses. So the Spurs are going to wrap up this series in 6 games on the road here at the Target Center. Minnesota season is going to come to a close. The 6th seed in the Western Conference. They 6 games in the opening round,
Which was phenomenal, by the way. For them to win
Enzo for a large chunk of the season.
No, quite possibly the entire season.
Possibly.
And they've really only got 7 guys, and that's counting Terrence Shannon, whose experience is limited. Look, Spolstra in Miami, that their talent gets overrated, their talent and their depth. You can't contend like that. They need more talent on this basketball team. They've got a great coach, they've got a good core, but and Mason Plumlee is probably going to come in for Harrison Barnes, and the Spurs are going to go to their 3-center line.
It's the big bench lineup for the Spurs. Waters peeks at the clock, 5 to shoot. Just over 5 minutes to play. Olynyk will fire off by Clark. Clark to drive. Biyombo would get to the Western Conference Finals for the 3rd straight year. Lost to Oklahoma City. No panic. They've faced these situations before, but the difference this time around, team that is locked in to who they are, what their identity is. Olynyk bangs in a triple.
Yeah, look, it's just the difference in talent is what it was. I mean, this Spurs team is outstanding, and they're not only really about that upcoming second round, it's going to be iconic, and it could be what we see over the next half-dozen years in this league. These two teams battling it out. San Antonio won 4 out of the 5 meetings during the year. NBA Cup, where Oklahoma City came in with a 16-game winning streak and a 24-1 record, and then San Antonio beat them for the first time after they had won 16 in a row. City got a win in January, and then San Antonio set a lot of their guys in the February game. So essentially, these teams haven't really met in 4 months.
Back in by Biyombo, had the Rick. They were really the only ones this year to be the Thunder Whisperers.
They really were. I mean, that team as Biyombo blocks, and Oklahoma City normally gave up, and the biggest reason Oklahoma City relies on creating turnovers. They were second in the league in steals, second in the league in turnovers forced, first in points off a turnover in San Antonio. San Antonio was able to take care of the ball against them, and if that happens, then City was 2 years ago. You know, they were the #1 seed actually at the time, but this young team over the hump in the Western Conference Finals.
Well, there's no doubt this is ahead of schedule for San Antonio.
I honestly, going into the season, and I think if you could get them to be real honest, the San Antonio people would tell you the same thing into the play-in, and that would be a good season, a good step for them, having been under 500 last year. This is way ahead of schedule, but championship caliber team.
The bucket for McLaughlin, the veteran. All window dressing right now, 137 to 106. And reaction from the podium as well. Full recap of the highlights.
So when we say defensively, and then he does the post-game show also.
Literally,
yes.
he's doing everything.
Yes.
Final
so he's
minute.
doing our job on top of everything else. Yeah.
minute 24 left. Plumlee the reverse jam. Phillips can't hit the three. Tapped over to McLaughlin. Get it in, Biyombo. Plumlee had it blocked by.
Voted Western Conference to be a part of the rotation, that I'm not sure of.
Under a minute to go. The San Antonio Spurs. Since 2017, the San Antonio Spurs are headed to the Western Conference Finals.